Hi friends, I'm Sarah. Welcome back to my channel, Sunset Bow. So I am going to be doing a VR to Y from On the Cusp Tarot, also known as Aquaricorn, because he is from the cusp. So, and basically he has come up with this idea of 7 days, 7 VRs. So he's basically taken some hashtags that already existed that people had done VRs to, and also created his own hashtag for people to do VRs to. And the idea is you kind of do all of them, or if you've already done them, at the end you sort of put them all together into one playlist on your YouTube channel, and then everybody has a list of the same VRs, and you can kind of go around and just get to know each other by like watching these VRs just sort of one right after the other, which I think is a really fun idea. So I've already done VRs to a lot of the tags that he included in his list of 7, but he did come up with his own hashtag, which is Rapid Fire on the Cusp. And it is a list of 20 questions, and I guess some of them, the last 10, come from Inside the Actor's Studio. It's questions James Lipton asks on Inside the Actor's Studio. And it's just, the idea is you just go through them and answer them quickly and just say what your answers are. So I thought I would jump in and participate. So the first question is, what is your astrology sign? I am a Pisces Sun, Libra Moon, Scorpio rising. I identify with it pretty strongly, that all makes a lot of sense to me. The second question is, what is your Chinese horoscope animal? And I am supposedly born in the year of the horse, but I don't really identify with that at all. Like every time I read the description of what people are supposed to be like when they're born in the year of the horse, does not resemble me remotely whatsoever. Question number 3, what is your spirit animal? So have kind of been trying not to use the term spirit animal, but in terms of just sort of like my favorite animal, or the animal that I would consider myself to be most sort of spiritually attuned to, I would say the cat, for sure. I am a cat lady. I love cats, and I think they live wonderful lives. So if I were to be any animal, I would be a cat. Number 4, what's your favorite color? I'd have to say blue. I also really love purple, but blue is my favorite color. Number 5, what's your favorite food? Oof, I can't believe, I love so many different kinds of food. I love sushi. I love all kinds of pasta. I like just fresh raspberries. My favorite all-time food would have to probably be pesto pasta, but I love food. I like so many different kinds of food. If I couldn't live on just one thing, I'd have to eat lots of different kinds of things. So number 6 is, where are you from? So my answer to this is kind of convoluted. I was born in Minnesota. We moved away when I was a baby, so I actually grew up in Seattle. When I was in about junior high age, we moved to Spokane. I was in Spokane through college. After Spokane, I took a detour to Washington, D.C. for several years for law school and other things, and now I am back in Minnesota. So long roundabout, middle, West Coast, East Coast, middle again. Number 7, where are you living right now? I live in Minnesota right now. Number 8, what's your what's your pet peeve? So my pet peeve is just rudeness. And it not just not even intentional rudeness, but people who just don't pay attention to the fact that other people exist in the world. I know why I mentioned one of the things that he really hates is just people being inconsiderate, and I have to agree with that. It is my absolute number 1 pet peeve, is when people just don't think about the effect that they're having on other people. It makes me absolutely crazy. Question number 9, coffee or tea? I love both coffee and tea. I would say half the mornings when I wake up, I drink coffee. The other half the mornings when I wake up, I drink black tea. I really like just English breakfast tea, basically. I also like herbal tea, but in the morning, it's really almost kind of a 50-50 split of whether I have coffee or tea. Number 10, which deck do you want to buy next? So I am at the point now where the only decks really on my wish list are decks that are impossible to get. So my 3 unicorn decks that I absolutely want the most of any other deck, and I know I'm probably never going to get unless they're reprinted, are the Fantastic Menagerie by Baba Studio, the Idiosyncratic by Jessica Bott, and the Tarot of Delphi. I'm really hoping that one or two or all three of those eventually get reprinted, and I've heard rumblings about the Tarot of Delphi and the Fantastic Menagerie in particular that they might be reprinted, but let's just really hope so. So now on to the next list of 10 questions that are the ones that are the, I can't remember why I said the name of the questionnaire was, but again, they're the ones from inside the actor's studio. So question 11, what is your favorite word? So when I was a kid, I actually sat down and I made a list of all of my favorite words in my journal, and it went on for pages, like pages and pages. I was kind of a weird kid. But anyway, I'd have to say when I think of favorite words, I think of both how they look when they're written and also how they sound when you say them, and also what they mean. So I love to hear words and also see words written that start with the letter CL. Like, I don't know what it is, but I really like that. So my favorite words would be things like clarity. Like, clarity is one of my favorite words. You know, anything that kind of starts with a CL and has a pretty meaning is a word that I really like. Number 12, what's your least favorite word? So this is actually a phrase, but my least favorite phrase is level set. People say that in my office all the freaking time, and I'm so sick of it, and I hate it so much. When somebody calls me up and is like, I want to level set about this, I'm like, I can't stand it. So hate the phrase level set. Number 13, what turns you on creatively, spiritually, and emotionally? The answer to that is really kind of simple: nighttime. I am such a night owl, and it's almost like as soon as the sun goes down, like every part of my brain comes alive in a way. It's very weird. But I used to just love, you know, now that I'm like a grown up and I have to get up in the morning and everything, I wish I can't do this as much as I wish I could, but just something about the night really just wakes me up and makes me feel like I want to do things, and I want to go outside, and I want to, you know, write things and think things, and yeah, I don't know, like nighttime is just awesome to me. Number 14, what turns you off? The answer to that, again, I'm going to kind of go back to what I said earlier. Rude people. People who are rude, again, is why I said people who are inconsiderate. You don't need to be intentionally rude, but if you're not paying attention to the people around you, you're going to make me crazy. So that drives me nuts. Number 15, what's your favorite curse word? So I have to say fuck is my favorite curse word. But my favorite saying, which isn't really a curse word, but is kind of an off-color saying, is calm your tits. Like, that's one of my favorite sayings. So, number 16, what is a sound you love to hear? I love the sound of piano. Piano is my favorite instrument, and I just love this, like, pianos playing the sound of a piano. It's one of my absolute favorite things. I also really like the sound of water running, like in a creek or a brook or a stream, just that sound that it makes as it's running. Yeah, I love that sound. Number 17, what's a sound you hate? Any kind of lawnmower or weed whacker or chainsaw, any kind of mechanical thing that is cutting a plant. I hate the sounds of all of those things. Like, I hate them. I would so love to live in a house where I didn't have to have a lawn. I hate the sound of lawnmowers. Number 18 is, what profession besides your own would you like to try? And I've answered a question similar to this before. I would love to be a singer. I sing as a hobby, and so singing professionally would be something that I would love. So I would love to be like an opera singer. Like, that would be really cool, I think. Number 19, what is a profession you don't want to do? I would never want to be a doctor of any kind. I have a weak stomach. I am a sympathetic puker. I am very easily grossed out. My family has been making fun of me about this like my entire life, because when I was a kid, I would get the dry heave so easily. Like, my sister would just have a booger hanging out of her nose or something, and I'd be like, you know, so I can't do anything where I would have to deal with other people's bodily functions. I would just be barfing constantly. So I could never be a doctor. And number 20 is, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you get to the pearly gates? And I have to kind of riff off of something that the lovely Keanu Reeves said in an interview recently, where he was asked in an interview what do you think happens when we die? And he had the best answer. His answer was, I know that the people we love will miss us. And I thought that was so profound. So what I would love to hear God say when I get to the pearly gates is, the people who you loved miss you, but they're doing okay. That's what I would want to hear God say. So anyway, so those are my answers. This was really fun. So thanks, Y. I am going to totally do the, any other VRs in your list that I haven't done yet, and make the, playlist of all of the different VRs. But this was a really fun one. So thanks so much, and have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.